That's my chair.
All right, I'm going to call the meeting in order. Roll call, William Johnson,
Here.
Thomas Graffinino. Here. And Colligan.
Here.
Lisa Kreckler.
Here.
And Town Attorney Stephen Kiley is somewhere in the building. All right, first order of business is the approval of minutes from the,
Work session.
what was the date of that meeting?
That was last.
5:15?
15.
From the 5:15 meeting?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have one resolution here to take care of tonight, and that was on the Keller application, 56A North Cartwright. Christina, will you read the resolution here, or you can sum it up?
Application by James and Cheryl Keller for variance and special permit at 56A North Cartwright Road, South Carolina, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map 700-A-3-67.2. The zoning board of appeals has reviewed this updated application and determined that this is a type 2 action, whose no further secret review is required. The applicant requests 2 area variances and a special permit in connection with a proposed renovation. Proposed first floor addition will only hold 8.7 feet to a 1.3 feet variance is required, and the deck addition will only hold 8.4 feet setback to the 1.6 feet variance is required. The zoning board of appeals originally held a public hearing on this application on March 27, 2024 and April 24, 2024. And considering factors and applying the balancing test on the New York State Town Law 267-B, as well as applying the facts to the standards enumerated in the town code, ZBA approved the request for 2 area variances for the front yard setback relief of 1.3 feet and 1.6 feet, respectively, for the subject additions, as well as the special permits for same, as reflected in the Michael Simon PE site plan dated February 13, 2024, and the Michael Simon PE construction plans dated January 16, 2024.
Can I have a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second. Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. William Johnston,
William Johnson, yes.
Thomas Graffinino,
Thomas Graffino, yes.
Phil Diorio votes yes.
Lynn Colligan, yes.
Lisa Kreckler, yes.
Okay, so the motion carries 5-0. Okay, next order of business, we have 2 applications tonight. The first is for 7 Larry Lane, Marks. Do we have someone here to present? Please come on up and state your name for the record.
Is it with the notice?
Oh, sorry, Christina, I'm sorry, I'm just jumping ahead here.
Hearing an application of Andrew R. Marks Press, owner of 7 Larry Lane, Shelter Island, New York, which is on AA Neutral Overlay District and is more specifically described on the Suffolk County Tax Map at 700-8-3-5.13. The applicant is seeking to hold 42.7 feet front yard setback where 50 is required. Additionally, the applicant is seeking a special permit for the bulk expansion of non-conforming dwelling.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board and council. My name is Denise Shern. I'm an attorney with the Adam Miller Group, located at 2461 Main Street, Hampton. Here tonight on behalf of the applicant, Dr. and Mrs. Marks.
Can you speak up, ma'am? I'm sorry.
Oh, sure, I'm sorry. This project is located at 7 Larry Lane. It is the renovation of an existing home in place and in kind, with the exception of a proposed 153 square foot addition to the westerly side of the residence that is 7.9 feet by 19.4 feet. It serves as an entryway to the existing building so that you can go from the driveway into the house without having to go around to the front door. If a resident happens to be visually impaired, this addition is designed to enable her to not have to walk to the front door, to go through a side door, a covered area, through a proper mudroom, and enter the house safely. The requested variance is a result of an existing access road that services the community and enables residents to use or to get down to the water. So it's not a traditional street in the sense that it's routinely used by cars, there's no traffic going back and forth. It essentially looks like a one-lane driveway that's approximately 125 feet in pavement. And both the Marks family and the family next door use that as their access to their properties as well. So in essence, it sort of looks like a flag strip, but it's also used for community members to water. As a result, it's designated as a front yard. So this property has 2 front yards, one on Mark Lane and one on this recreational access right of way. The existing house is situated a conforming distance from that right of way at 50 feet. But the proposed addition, since it will be in front of that area of the house, will be situated 42.7 feet from that right of way. Action with your analysis tonight. I'm sure the board knows what your standard is the benefit to the applicant versus the detriment to the community. The benefit to the applicant is the ability to access the house safely from a more convenient location and, excuse me, and provide her with a covered entryway that enables her to enter the house from her car in the driveway. Another benefit of this project is that they're going to be installing an IA septic system, which is certainly beneficial to the environment, to Coffs Harbor, and to the community at large. There will be no undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. This is a 1-story addition. It's very low. The grade dips down there, and it's designed specifically not to preclude anyone's views from waters from neighboring properties. The variance requested is not substantial. It's 14% of the required setback, where 50% or above is considered substantial by most codes and by most courts in New York State. As I said, I don't believe there'll be any negative environmental impact as a result of this addition. It's 153 square feet, very modest in nature. There's a DEC permit in place, a health department permit in place for the IA septic system, and it will be located in a previously disturbed area where there's an existing shower and some storage bins. So we're not removing pristine vegetation to put this addition up. While this difficulty may be self-created, I'd like to note that that's not necessarily for the board, and that it's the existence of this recreation access road that has created this hardship. Because this house is non-conforming with respect to wetland setbacks, we also need a special permit from the board in order to encroach into the front yard setback with the 153 square foot addition.
But that has something to do with the wetlands.
No, just the addition. There are, I'm sure you know, several factors and criteria under your special permit standards. So instead of going through each one and keeping you here for a very long time, I'll go through the general standards. If anyone has questions, I'd be happy to answer them. The first one is general suitability. This will definitely be in harmony with the neighborhood. This is a residential neighborhood, a 153 square foot home addition. Shouldn't cause any issues with regard to safety, health, welfare, comfort, or the enjoyment of neighboring property owners. Your second is standard is the location. Is this site suitable for the proposed use? I would state that the zoning district is residence AA in the nearshore overlay district, and we are in a location where this proposed addition is appropriate. It's a residential addition to the structure. This proposal is harmonious with the character of the existing neighborhood. The proposed development will end up with a positive impact on the outer neighborhood in terms of upgrading the existing residence and making it more aesthetically attractive to the surrounding neighbors. Environmental concerns. As I said, we're proposing an IA septic system. We do need a wetlands permit, wetland board, so we'll be going there. But had to come here first to get our variance. So we will be addressing any environmental concerns with that board. I would mention the DEC has approved the project. I know there are different standards that the DEC has than the municipal board, but the local municipal board, but we do have permission from them to move forward with the project. The site is rather large. It's 93,881 square feet. So when you're looking at the size of the structure takes up 0.001% of the total lot area of the parcel.
Takes up what percentage?
0.001.
You mean the
The
addition?
addition.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, not the house.
Yeah, not the house.
I
Yeah.
apologize.
Do you have a full lot coverage by chance?
I do.
Thank you.
The building coverage of 3.19, where 25% is permitted. And the total. For 40% is municipal,
It's really small. Yeah, it is really small.
3.38%.
There's a bigger version of it. Thank you very much.
Sure. I have, I don't know if the board accepts handouts at meetings. I did bring for you just an aerial, that you can get a visual of the access road that I'm talking about.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the record as well.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Lloyd.
Thank you.
Got this from Google Earth today. So broad, just a map that it just shows you a different sort of image of that that recreational strip, so you can get an idea of where it is.
I'm like having a hard time seeing the actual addition
Oh, Jason pointed out too.
and its relationship to the setback line.
Okay. If I may show you on the survey.
I can't find it either.
So,
I looked at this thing 3 times.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come a little closer, I think.
I'll show this around, but this is the proposed addition that I have circled in red.
Do we have that drawing with marked in?
I don't know, I didn't mark it, this is just my markup, so I.
Okay, what page is that?
Z-3.0.
What is it?
Z-3.0.
I don't think we have any
No.
Z.
No.
We don't have any
We
Z.
only have a,
No.
Let's take a look here.
This, I can definitely show you on the
Okay.
survey.
yeah.
Thank
It's very, on the survey, it is kind of marked out, and it's this right here, right?
That's it,
Yeah.
yes, it's.
Page one. This is the little one, but Bill has the big one that it's also marked out.
On the big map?
Yeah.
Gigantic map.
I'm sorry.
It's right here.
That's right, exactly. So here's this this access that I've been talking about to the recreation area.
Punch, do you want to come over here or you got that?
No. Yeah, I'm gonna, I'll
Want to
come
come over or?
It's easier not.
Okay.
So we've got the entrance to the recreation area here. Our clients use this to enter their driveway here. And they'd like to be able to enter the house here through a mudroom. There are things that have been built into this to help her maneuver that room, but I didn't know if the board really
Are
wanted
there
to
stairs
speak to
leading
this.
up to it?
Is it flush with grade or are there stairs going up to it? Two stairs. Two steps. And then this, so this setback here is the 42.7, and then the house is 50.5. So we go out an additional 7.9 feet toward that recreation road.
Now, currently, is there a shower there?
There's a shower there.
And-
some storage bin.
So are you enclosing that?
That's gonna be removed.
The shower is going to be removed, because I see a shower here on the proposed first floor.
Well, that's a different the shower that's there now is gonna be removed.
Okay, so there's, and it's, right now it's an outdoor shower.
Yes. Yeah, there's nothing on the outside of the house right there. Everything's outside of the
So
building.
the only thing you're here for a variance for from the ZBA
Mhm.
and a special permit, I guess,
Yes,
is just this.
that's,
None of the other things you want to do are in the setback at all.
that's right. That's
Okay.
right. Everything else conforms to zoning and just, does require a wetland permit.
Right, that's
Yeah.
their thing.
It doesn't need a dimensional
Okay.
setback relief from you.
Makes sense.
We tried to limit the request for variances. We tried to avoid actually coming to the board. We thought we did, but we were in error because we thought this was a side yard. So we thought we were meeting the setback, but we
Okay.
found out we were incorrect.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank
Thank you.
I'm sorry, can you just clarify again that shower, because I'm looking at all these plans, unless I'm looking at the wrong thing, please let me know.
Okay.
But the mudroom addition, it still shows a shower here.
Can you clarify this for me? Is the mudroom addition going to have a shower in it?
State your name.
My name's Kimberly, contractor on the job. The shower that's existing there is gone. There won't be any outdoor shower on that addition. The addition is extended to the corner of the existing building.
Okay, so these are not accurate then. I see it here, proposed mudroom with the shower here, and then it's also on this plan as well.
No, that's gone. This continues to the end. There is no shower there.
So we need to put a,
So we need
To be
we need
removed.
resubmitted, we need revised plans.
Why did you, I'm sorry, yeah, that's gone. So
Okay, you're gonna have to submit revised plans before our work session. A week before the work session. Our work session is the 12th, so they have to be submitted by the 5th. All right?
And just of that one area, we don't need more.
And if you can't submit them again by then, you can ask
Now the
for an
proposed
adjournment, and we'll
includes-
put it off to the next month.
With that, and so I don't know what the square feet that they are proposing is accurate.
Because they got
make a notation to show that that's been approved. And if those plans to show it's been removed.
they have to, the building permit might have to be amended.
I don't know if the square footage is accurate then, if the square footage just included that, the shower or not, section. Not that it will be a shower, but.
So you may want to hold this open, not close it. Because Reed's gonna have to review the new plans and see if that's gonna necessitate an amendment of a building permit.
Okay.
Thank you, Stephen.
Ma'am, do you have anything else you'd like to present? Okay, so we're going to leave this open until our June hearing, which will be the 26th of June. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, you're going to have to submit against the thing to the building department, and they may have to revise the denial letter. That's why we're going to keep it open here, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. And next up, we have application on at 70 Hut Hill Drive. Christine, will you read the notice?
Hearing on the application of Marina Han, owner of 70 Pole Drive, Shelter Island, New York, which is located in Zone AA, or reverts to A, Nearshore Overlay District, and is more specifically described on the Suffolk County Tax Map as 700-12-2-19. The applicant is seeking to hold a 17.6 feet front yard setback where 4 is required, 2.5 feet side yard setback where 25 is required, and 3.9 side yard setback where 25 is required.
Okay, someone here to present?
Good evening, Matt Sherman with Sherman Engineering and Consulting. I'm here on behalf of the property owner, Marina Han. She's on attending by Zoom, as well as our architectural team, which is Bo Durham and Michael Lamont. So I've got a quick presentation to give you. It's fairly straightforward. This application is really a reiteration of an approval that we received July of 2021. Basically, it's a reconstruction of the house that's there on the same footprint, but the new house is going to be larger, it's going to be taller than the existing house that's there now. The reason why we're back in front of the board is it took us 2.5 to 3 years to get through the health department because of variances that were required because of the well and septic separation, groundwater separation, water quality, and a few things like that. So in the meantime, the ZBA's initial approval had expired. Ms. Han had also engaged with the new architect who made some minor changes to the plan. So it's not an identical plan to what was before the board before, but I think you'll see that it's substantially the same. There are some minor differences which I'll point out. Christine, if I could share my screen. The property is on Tuttle Drive to the north, Cockles Harbor to the south. This is the existing site. The existing, right now it's a 50-foot wide piece of property. It's in A zone, so you've got a 40-foot front yard setback and you've got 25-foot side yard setbacks. So basically there's zero building envelope on this piece of property. Zoom in on this a little bit, just I wanted to point something out here. The flood zone on this property, basically where you go from a hazard zone is here along this AE10 line. So everything landward of that is outside of a hazard zone. Everything seaward of that is within. So the existing and the proposed buildings are not in a hazard zone. This is the proposed footprint. So like I said, the building itself is the same depth and width. The setbacks, as you can see here, we've got wetland setbacks, both a 100-foot setback, which is just landward of the house, the 75-foot setback, which goes through near the waterside edge of the house. Our 40-foot front yard setback is, the house is pretty much almost entirely within the 40-foot front yard setback. And this is your 25-foot setback from either sideline. So there's just no building envelope whatsoever on the property. The existing septic system is this cesspool right here, just over 7 feet from the on-site retaining wall or bulkhead. And that bulkhead is also the landward boundary of the wetlands for the property. And there's an existing, the well that we just put in, let's see if I got it on this one, is right up here in that north corner on Tuttle Drive. The well that was here previously was just slightly to the right of that as you're looking at the page, and just a little bit to the north, slightly off of the property. We put in a new well for the health department and had it sampled. There were some water quality issues that were taken care of, depth to water issues, and separation distance to the on-site septic, both existing and proposed. The the lot layout is the same lot layout that we had previously with respect to the building, the septic system, which has been approved by the health department to go in this location here. So it's gone from 7 feet, just over 7 feet from the bulkhead to just under 34 feet to the bulkhead. So it's a significant improvement in the septic system. The well ends up being in approximately the same location. So this is a comparison between the plan that was approved on the left-hand side and the plan that we're asking for on the right-hand side. I've got a cleaned up version here in just a second that'll be easier to see. So you've got for the.
Zoom on these a little bit, Matt?
Yep. So on the approved plan, we basically just mimicked the existing footprint.
Can we move that over a little, Matt? Sorry, it's
That's right.
the other way.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so that helps out a little bit there. Okay, so right here is an existing outdoor shower that was turning into a landing for an entry door. We've got another entry door and landing. We're right here. And then the rest of the building basically remained the same. We had a new entry stair on the water side of the building. That's what was approved in July of 2021. What we're asking for as a slight modification to that is getting rid of the landing, that was the converted outdoor shower, getting rid of the punch out that was in the front of the house and just making a landing there, putting in an entry stair into the basement along that right-hand side of the building, and then a small outdoor shower adjacent to that entry stair. The entry stair doesn't need a ZBA variance because it's less than 5 feet wide, so it's ingress and egress into the house, so it complies. It doesn't have to comply with side yard setbacks. The other main difference is the entry stair along the water side of the building. So we've gone from a 5'6" entry stair that was approved here to one that's wider and deeper because of a set of sliding glass doors that take advantage of the view and the opening out to the rear of the property, to the water side of the property. So here's our elevations, and this is really where the bulk of the project is, obviously. So what was approved is on the left-hand side, what's proposed again on the right. So the ridge elevation is the same at 44.6, which is just under 35 feet above average existing grade. It does get higher for the length of the building, where right now that middle third is that higher ridge. Now the higher ridge runs the length of the building. That's the side elevation. So if you were standing looking at the property from this vantage point, to the left-hand side would be Cockles Harbor, to the right-hand side would be Tuttle Drive.
What's the height to that deck, Matt?
To this upper deck is 33 feet is the height itself. Our average existing grade is 9, so you're at 24 and a half, give or take, to this deck here on both vantage points.
And maximum height for flat roof here is 25.
25, yeah. So even that would comply if it were a flat roof. Yeah.
With this heightened ridge elevation, are you doing anything on the interior with it as well?
Yeah, and I'll show you.
Okay.
So this is just saying, looking from the opposite direction. This is on the water side, looking at the building. So originally we had the roof deck in this area with a couple of French sliding doors, and then the area behind for the stairs and for mechanical equipment and storage. It's basically translated into this, so slightly a slicker view, a more simplistic view. On the second floor, you've got sliding windows, very similar to what was originally approved. And then on the first floor, this is where the stairs end up being modified. We had a pair of sliders in the middle of the building that had that one stairway going out. Now we've got 3 sliding panels, which have the stairway in front of them going out. So that's what necessitates that wider landing coming up into the building. So here's
Can you go back there?
yes, absolutely. Did you have any?
No, I just wanted to look again.
Okay. We put this together so you can see what it was like with relation to groundwater. We want to make sure that we don't have to do any dewatering or anything to that effect while we're building this building. The bottom of the footing is going to be at about a 2-foot elevation. Groundwater in this area has been relatively standard at a 1-foot elevation. Even right now, when groundwaters are significantly higher around most of the island, in this area, we're still right at about a 1 foot. So we're going to be a little bit higher than groundwater for the bottom of the footings. This also kind of gives you a feel for the way that the house is laid out. Whereas we've got a full basement, which has got a laundry room and mechanical area, and I'll show you that in a second. Our main first floor, our second floor, and then there's a set of stairs to that roof deck. And it's just a stairway and a entry area into that roof deck, so it can't be considered, it can't be used as a third floor. There's no.
When you say that entry onto the roof deck, how big is that area?
I'll show you that in just a second. I got that on a coming up slide. Yeah. So this is the basement. What was approved, full basement with laundry and mechanical area. Basically the same thing. Full basement with storage. This is the laundry. This is the stairs going up, and then a couple of different mechanical areas on either side. So it's really just a reconfiguring of what was already approved. The first floor is very similar with the exception of the way that the stairs are laid out, where we've got the kitchen to the left-hand side, then the dining room, then the living area, and a guest room or a den on that upper right corner with a bathroom, with a full bath. So, and again, it's kind of just reshifting the way things were already approved in that first floor. On the second floor, same thing, reshifting. We've got a couple of bedrooms and a study for the second floor, as well as a couple of bathrooms. This is the attic area, to get to your question just a second ago. On the original one, we had the walkway coming up with a doorway going out onto the roof deck. This is the same thing. We've got the walkway coming up, and it enters into the sliders coming out onto the roof deck, and then going into mechanical area. So the mechanical areas would be unfinished, unconditioned, not living space.
And when you say unfinished, no sheetrock,
Right, no sheetrock.
no trim,
No, unfinished.
no luxury vinyl flooring or?
Yeah.
Because I'll say this, man, since the last time you were here, I think we've grown a little more suspicious of unfinished third floor spaces.
Yeah, and that's, you're not the first person to say that. I've talked to the building department about it. We've looked at this, not for this specific project, but for other similar projects. And the idea of a comfortable unfinished attic or a comfortable unfinished basement is basically analogous to a extra living area. So it's understood, and it's going to have to be finished and get a certificate of occupancy in such a way that it can't be just conveniently used as overflow sleeping or whatever the case may be.
So let me ask you, before because the ridge was only high in the center, that was really the only place where you would have enough clearance to eventually finish the space. Now, how much headroom do you have here?
Let me back up.
In the new thing, right before it was less than 7 feet?
Yeah, so at that section on the water side, you don't really have any. On the road side, you will have 7.5 to 8 foot of headroom in this area, right here, just, like by the stairs, and then obviously a little bit more than 8 feet as you go toward the middle of the building. So let's look at that. So in this area, it comes up to 8 or 9 feet, but as soon as you come into the staircase, it's pitching down. So you've got significantly less as you're coming to the outside of this area here.
Okay, what about in those 2 rooms there, the 2 rooms that are mechanical?
Yeah, like the ridge line comes right through the middle here.
Right.
And then it starts pitching back. So you've got and I can toss to Michael here in just a second. He can probably clarify this a little bit better than I am. But you've got probably a 9-foot headroom as you're at this wall. And then it's pitching down toward significantly less than that. Let's go back to the section. So you're pitching down to probably a 5 or 6 foot headroom on that outside wall.
I definitely want to get that number if we can.
Yeah, we'll get that. And Michael Lamont, who's on Zoom. Michael, do you want to chime in at this point? If you've got those numbers handy for both the interior ceiling height at the exterior wall, I mean, at the middle wall, and the interior ceiling height at the interior wall. Michael, I'm tossing to you. You look. I think he's not picking up on me. All right, so I'll move on and
You get on, please, or Bo, one of you, please. So we can figure this out. Can you hear me?
okay.
Hi, can you hear me? Bo.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was having issues on unmuting myself.
no problem.
So this to speak on, if we, Matt, can you go
Okay.
up to the roof
Matt,
deck?
hold on, let's
Oh, sorry.
identify the gentleman here.
This is Bo Durham from Stella Montrahani Architects.
Thank you.
So
Okay,
if
you're
we
on,
go
Bo.
up, yeah, if you go up to the roof plan, Matt, I can speak on those heights. So in the mechanical, well, that door is 8 feet or
Okay, right here. Let's go here.
right here. So at the mechanical, let's say street side wall, that knee wall is only 3 feet. And then it goes up to 8 feet at the ridge. And then in the stairwell, it goes from 8 to 6. So the mechanical storage space, there's really not headroom at all to make it a livable space or functional space. It's more just to throw in cushions or things from the outside deck.
So Matt, it's labeled mechanical, like what is the plan? Is it actually cushion storage? Or are you putting AC units up there? What's going on?
Bo,
That would hold the air handlers to feed the floor below. So that would go, we'd have one air handler. We're still working with the mechanical engineer to determine if we need one in each of those spaces. We'd probably just need one of those to feed the entire floor. But there would be a mechanical unit in there and then storage for the cushions and things when not being used.
It just seems like a lot of space for an air handler.
Right.
And,
And
yeah.
each mechanical room is gonna have an air handler?
well, that's what he said. They're still working with the mechanical
Still working.
contractor, the engineer to see if they're going to, but they've got space allocated on both areas in case. If not, we could certainly, if the board felt that there was too much possible storage space, which then could be too much possible incorrectly used space, we could certainly limit this so that there's enough adequate storage for the stuff that would be used on that roof deck and an air handler, but not be a temptation to be used in an incorrect way.
Correct. I think that is something that we could do once we get the system designed, the mechanical system designed. Because we do need a space for an air handler on the roof, as we're unable to get ducting from the basement level through the house. So
And the approved plan had something similar. We had the air handler over here on that left-hand side into like a cubby that was open to the outside.
Just, if it is a mechanical utility room, code-wise, would that actually need to be sheetrocked
For fire
for
purposes.
fire?
Yeah, we would have to have type X, yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. But we could keep from trimming it out. So it'll be,
It's a slippery old slope here, Matt.
it'll be sheetrock and putty, but it won't be painted. Yeah, we could work it out. I mean, that's certainly not the first time this has come up, and I'm sure it's not gonna be the last. So we could work out a acceptable solution to you guys and to the building department and to the property owner. Because, obviously we've got to meet code, but we also don't want to sit make a situation where you're encouraging non-compliance.
And let me ask you, Matt, how high is the current roof on the existing house? What's the peak on that, to the ridge?
I'll have to get that for you. I don't think I have that, and I'll get it for you.
Just, it seems to me that when you're on the road, right, that you're gonna have a wall now that's 45 feet high, 44 and change high.
Well, no, that's not correct. It's, the elevation is 44, you're starting at 10. So it's 35 feet high. And I know it sounds like we're quibbling over small numbers, but 44 feet high is 9 feet higher than the code will allow. 35 feet high is what the code will
It's,
allow.
okay, so
Yeah,
35 off the existing
well, the
grade.
existing average grade, yeah.
And how far is the house gonna be from, the new house gonna be from the road?
So, let's see here. Go back to the site plan so I can.
Must be in the same footprint.
It's the exact same footprint as what's there now, yeah. So the closest point to the road
17,
is 17 and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the further, and it, on that far side, it kind of pitches away from the road a little bit. So it's 18.4 on the far side.
I'm very curious to know what the existing region, like, what the difference in that feeling is gonna be as you're driving down Tuttle Drive. You know, if it's just a little bit, it's not a big thing. If it's a lot, it's a, you know, whatever. It's,
Yeah, and I can get that, because we had gone over that at the previous hearing, the previous approval. And I've got it, I didn't think to bring it with me tonight, so I'll bring that, I'll get that to you guys.
Can I just ask one question? Could you go back to the picture of, the deck up top, the third floor that we were on?
Yeah.
So it is an outdoor deck.
Mhm.
Bigger now than, because I have notes from the October meeting of 21.
Yeah.
That was 30 by 11 originally?
Yeah.
And now what is the outdoor deck?
It's about the same, it's another maybe 2 feet deeper.
Which takes away from the would-be space, mechanical space on the inside of the
It
house.
creeps in a little bit more, yeah.
Okay.
And on the other main difference was that area where that roof line is larger was just over top of the staircase, whereas now that roof area extends out to the outer walls.
and is there a reason for that?
The aesthetics of the design, trying to make it look more uniform. And again, I'll patch that to, or toss that to Michael and Bo. But the, you know, the idea of having the design fit with the aesthetic, that's what that's the primary driver. And there's also practical reasons as well. Bo, if you'd like to chime in on that.
And
It's to get a little, I think the doors out to the deck before were only 7 feet. So this gets a little bit more head height, which still within the max head allowable building height for the project.
Right, I mean, it's the allowable building height if you're not in the setback.
Right, yeah.
In the end. Okay, and also there was some change in the plan where before there had been a chimney, right? And then instead of having the chimney, we're gonna build like a little mud room, right? That's basically it. Now we're getting rid of that spot but we're extending the whole house a little bit?
There's a little bit of a punch out on the front of the house, this area, let's see. It's this area here. I don't know how well you can see that on the screen. It comes out a little bit. This is the area that you're talking about, I think.
Right.
And so this area comes out. Let me see if I got it in a better view. You can't really see it with these pictures. I was hoping you could see the chimney. You can't really see it. But that area along the front of the building comes out just to make it a straight wall going across.
But it's a straight wall that's now pushed out a little further and extends past the original footprint, is that correct?
Bo, you want to handle that? I'm not exactly sure. I think it's cantilever, right?
Yeah, it's just a 8-inch overhang. If you see on the elevation, or you can see that's just basically it's a small overhang that's 12 inches to get a little bit of rain cover as you're walking in to the door and protect the water from going into the house.
So it's just the overhang. There's no actual bump out in the wall?
Correct.
Okay.
Photos, just to kind of give you a feel for what's there now. And Bo, do you have the information on the existing height?
I don't have any of the existing building information.
So I'll get that to you so that you
Okay.
can see what we're talking about as far as before and after.
That has to be submitted by June 5th if we're closed this tonight.
Okay.
Matt, do you have a line, you know, in the past, you've had like a line drawing that like is superimposed on the existing to see the actual bulk of what this is?
I don't, but
Look
I'll
like-
see if I've got it from the first go round. And see, I kind of more focused on the original approval, changes from the original
Yeah,
approval.
I can look back
So,
too.
yeah.
No, but this is substantially different, honestly.
Yeah.
From the original.
Okay.
Can you do renditions of what it would be, the view from the street between the two?
Not artistic ones that would really give you a realistic feel. You know, I'm a line drawing kind of guy. I'll see if we can do so. What's that?
What about Bo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that might be.
Yeah, we would be able to provide something with a little bit more context instead of just the line drawings.
Yeah, again, we need that by June 5th if we close this.
If you're gonna wait for that, I
I
think you
just
should
keep it
hold it open and have them come in so you can discuss it.
I mean, I'd also like to see what your solution is to this mechanical room height issue that we're discussing. I mean, there's a big difference between a space being labeled an attic from what we originally approved
Mhm.
versus this. So if there's any way that you can rework it, so it'd be interesting to take a look.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, because originally you only had a door open to the deck, now you got sliding doors.
Especially if that's all the sheet rock.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right, Matt, is there anything else that you want to add?
That's all I've got.
I think we're probably going to leave this open. Let's just see if we have anybody want to weigh in here? Anybody in the audience? Folks, no, anybody from Zoom land want to weigh in?
I have a question.
Sure, Albert, go ahead.
No.
What's that?
No.
What
Town
do you
board,
mean?
no, a town board member can't. No.
I think it's a relevant question.
Yeah, no, it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate. You really can't. No, I would have to say, you really should not.
I don't understand. I mean, I think it's a relative question here.
No, probably is, but
Where am I gonna ask, when am I gonna ask it?
you shouldn't ask. Just,
What?
So our liaison shouldn't be asking questions during the hearing.
yes.
I understand
So
it.
then you close the hearing and I can't ask it.
No, we're not going to close it. And
You can't, town board members shouldn't be asking the zoning board. But we could talk offline about
Let's talk now. I don't understand. I
it.
really,
Because
I really
the
don't.
town board writes the legislation, and then the zoning board grants relief from that legislation. So there should be a firewall between the zoning board and the town board. Town board really shouldn't be asking questions and injecting themselves into an application.
All right. How do I move my question forward?
I'll talk to you.
Albert, you can, I guess, have someone else ask the question for you, I guess. That's, what else can I do here? All right, does anybody out in Zoom land want to weigh in here? No? Oh, we got a hand up? Okay, Pam Demarest, would you like to speak?
Yes, hi there, good evening. I'm also looking at that third floor deck, the roof deck there, and there seems to be a sink added, and I don't know what else has been added to that deck from the original approval. I'd like to see some clarification on that. And then I had a question, and I'm not sure you'll be able to answer this, but in the letter, the notice of disapproval on item number 5, Mr. Karen mentions that this requires a wetlands variance / approval. But you don't do variances on wetlands. And the planning,
Look, we're not going to do any of the wetland stuff. That'll go to the planning board unless it gets moved to the town board before this gets there.
okay, but the planning board doesn't approve variances.
No, I understand the wording is incorrect.
So do we have a remedy for the wording of that? Because I'm just trying to get that clarified.
Planning board can clarify that.
Yeah, I think that you were before the wrong board to get clarification of the wording for the wetlands permit. But I think that when it goes to wetlands for a wetlands hearing, whether that's going to be from the planning board or from the town board, I think that word variance can be struck from that and worked on from there.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, you believe that the building inspector just used that word inappropriately then?
Look, I'm not speaking on the record here, ma'am, about what someone else might or might not have done. But to me, I understand that the planning board and previously the town board and coming up again, the town board does not grant wetlands variances, they grant wetlands permits. That's the crux of the matter, I guess.
Okay, that makes it more clear to me. Thanks very much.
Okay.
But just
Does
about the sink on the third floor, do we know about the sink on the third floor, what that is?
I think that it's considered an accoutrement for entertaining. When you're out there sitting on your deck and you want to pour yourself a nice sunset something or other, and that maybe you want to wash a glass after that.
Okay, it's just not labeled on the plans, and I was just wondering what that was. All right, thanks very much.
Anyone else? Anyone else in Zoom land want to weigh in? No? So we're going to leave this hearing open and we will reconvene on June 26th. And if you have any other business, so I'd like a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.